Hello. Hopefully now this is working, although apparently it might be a different link to the one that I put in, although it isn't, but it might be. If you got here early, then hopefully you'll be here just now. No, Pascal, it wasn't just you that had the sound. I found another thing that I slid across to do a different thing, but now I've got to put that back where it was as well, because otherwise if there's any alert things pop up, then I don't know about it. Right, before we went live, Chubba Lang subscribed to me, so hello. Welcome. Hopefully everything's working now. I, as ever, don't know what's going on with most things, but especially with YouTube. It should all be easy and normal, but my mic seems crackling. Is that me also? I don't know. I can't hear me. Let me just put in my headset to listen to that bit. Hello. Hello. Is that still crackling? It sounds fine on my end, but that it might not be you. It might well be me. I shall just quickly unplug and replug in the mic. It's gone hideously wrong now. I'm being quiet. Has it got better since I've just done that? If someone can let me know. If not, I'll have to have a good rummage around and sort things out. I've been no. That's still is that no? It's dropping out. Is it going bad? Right. Give me 1 minute. I shall sort my sound out by the expert unplugging my mic and plugging it in elsewhere, but I might have to do other things, so amuse yourselves for a moment or two. Right, I plugged it in a different port. Is it any better? I shall await your comeback to tell me if there's anything fixed or not. If it's not, then I don't know, because, yes, fixed. Way, thank you, well done. Right, I'll have to rearrange my wiring again to get that a bit more permanent. Right, as you might have noticed, my voice is moderately better now as well, so I hopefully will be able to keep talking throughout, and now everything's working, so yay. Alright, I'm going to have a drink, because, you know, otherwise I might not be able to do it properly. I've got, is it Tango? Well, I've got Tango today, so hopefully you won't have someone, big orange guy, come and slap me around the face or whatever. That's what happens with Tango, isn't it? Right. Welcome. Hello, it's Sunday. It's Sunday evening. It's the Warhamster Late Show. Fox was on earlier for ages, like 3 hours, and it went really quick today, didn't it? He said it did, and I thought it did when I was watching it. This is mine. This is an hour and a half, as my streams tend to be, because much more than that, I get bored, you get bored, and, you know, people start wandering away and wondering what's going on. So I am building the Taurox. As people have noticed, you see hamsters. Pascal sees hamsters. This is my Warhamster mascot now. It's Warhammer Conquest Issue 1 Space Marine, which I painted up roughly in the Space Marine style, according to the magazine. And then Speedy Q8 kindly sent me a few hamster heads, which I painted up and made look like a hamster. Cut it off, put it on, and there we go. I've been gradually adding bits, highlighting, adding different colours and details and things to the hamster. I think that's about as far as I want to go with the detail work on it. So I do need to do some sort of shades and washes and things, and the general tidy up and finishing off. But I'm happy with him. He's working. He's definitely a hamster, and he's definitely a war hamster. So, yeah, I just leave him there at the beginning of the show, but I'll move him out of the way now. You don't need to worry about him. He'll be fine. This is the Taurox, which is mostly stuck together now, and the lid's stuck on. The the rocket launcher we stuck on last week, I think. The only bit that's still not stuck on is the front grille, because I haven't finished with the front bit, but almost. So I'll take that off now and leave that to one side. I like to leave it on there so I don't lose it. As ever, I've got no plan for anything to do today. Let me have a quick nose through the chat. Now, the chat obviously is different to how it was. Pascal's in first because, I don't know, got the notification that it was live, but it wasn't live on the channel that we were all waiting in. I've got no idea what's going on there. I don't know why. Nothing's changed. All the stream settings and everything is the same as it should be. I did have a live hangout chat thing with Fox the other night, and we tweaked a couple of settings, so hopefully everything's a little bit sharper for you. But we'll figure it out as we go, and I don't know if we'll ever find out exactly what's going on, but it used to be okay, and now it isn't. But I have moved my computer around different places because I was having this strange bandwidth problem, which is mostly better now, so hopefully that's cured, or cured enough that I don't have to worry about it anymore. So, in the chat, we have Pascal and George. Bob Saltley Bobbington's in. Troughton Chard's in. He's at work, so he's going to be in and out. And I think it might have been in the other chat, but George said he's only around for a little while. But even a little while with me is worth having, shall we say? No, probably not. Shane Young's in, saying hello, Chris and everyone. Hope you're all okay. Then we got the whole mic crackling, choppy audio rubbish dropping out. Still bad, still choppy. But then it's fixed and better, spot on now. And then we're up to seeing hamsters and the RAS Best Breakdown tank. So, yes, this is pretty much what we're doing now. Last week, I think it was last week, yeah, I was here last week, but it wasn't very long because I couldn't talk very much. So, we did, or I did rather, the sort of panel line shading sort of wash, but not really a wash, but yeah, making everything a little bit darker. So what I need to do this week is come back in with the orange. That orange, not that orange, that's the very bright orange. The same orange that I painted it with, the Troll Slayer orange. I need to almost dry brush over to bring back some colour to the sort of shade, not in the grooves, but around the panels and things. Much like I did on the main panel, but on the rest of it, really. So, that's what we got. I sorted out, even, look, clean wet palette, but I don't know that I'm going to be using that this week now, because, so dry brushing, you don't need a wet palette as such. I can actually get it out the pot and then get rid of it on a tissue. So, we'll start with that and carry on and see how far we get and do things. I need to do the highlighty bits and gold trims and stuff on the dude, but we'll see how far we go, and whatever happens, happens, basically. Osric 9000 just popped in saying hello. Hello. Welcome. As ever, if you've got any, questions or observations or anything at all, pop it in the chat, give me a shout. Save me having to, talk monotonously for an hour. So it's always nice when you join in, basically. So I've just got rid of most of the paint. As I say, it's sort of dry brushing, which, I know you all know more about model making than I do, basically. So it's not a dramatic change. So this is not going to look wildly different afterwards than it does now. But it just sort of tidies up the edges, apparently. And the flat sort of panel areas will just start to look a little bit brighter, where the shade, I keep calling it a wash, but it's not really a wash, it's a shade apparently, dulls it down a little bit. Now I will be using the other orange, the brighter one, in much the same way actually, another time, or later today maybe, just to sort of bring a little bit of highlight and pop it a little bit more. But for now, I say this is just tidying up the darkening patches, as I said. I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over again because there's not much to talk about. So yeah, what have you all been up to? I know it's pretty much the same things as Fox has been talking about for the last 3 hours, but you know, that's the downside to being second. I can't have all the stunning conversation because he's nicked it all. Yeah. Just picking bits and going in, around, tidying up. As ever, this is a normal YouTube broadcast. Hopefully you found me by now. Let's have a quick look. We've got 19 people watching, so welcome all 19 of you. If you're not in the chat, then you know, come and join the chat, because it gets lonely in there without you. Come and join the gangs. They're all nice people in there. They'll all keep you, you know, warm and cosy and out the rain. We've had thunder here today, so it's all been a bit nasty out there. Come in, the water's fine, except when it's coming out of the sky. Right, Spid's just popped in, and Zad's saying pretty quiet on the model making front this week. Yeah, I had a couple of weeks like that recently, or like a month really. I've just not, I'd say, with the flu and everything, and just not really feeling it. So I didn't get very much done. But the last week or so I've been back at it a little bit. Obviously the Terminator started. That's the big news of the week. The half-scale Terminator has officially started and is up and running. I've got 3 issues of it, actually. I think the 3rd issue doesn't actually come out into the shops until Wednesday this week, so it's a future issue, which are all available as of now up on my channel. Don't watch them yet, wait till I've finished here, but then go and watch them. There's actually 4 videos up there, because I did the 1st issue when I got that a couple of weeks ago, and then decided to do some upgrades and modifications to it, as a few other people in different Facebook groups and things had, and thought this would be a good video. So I did a video of that after the fact that I've already released the 1st video of the build series. And then obviously issue 2 and issue 3 turned up through my door. Actually, issue 2 I popped out and bought again, or bought before it came, because I didn't know when it was going to turn up. Starting these part works is always a bit hit and miss as to when the 1st issue is going to turn up through your door. So I went and bought issue 2, because it's nice that the first couple of 2 or 3 issues are always cheap anyway. And it's nice to have spares of things to try modifications and stuff. So I got issue 2. I made a video of that, and then a day or 2 later, issue 2 and 3 turned up through my door. So I then did another video for issue 3, and I've just finished putting together another modification video, which is basically issues 2 and 3 modified slightly, which will be available later in the week. I'm going to put it into my Patreon early access later on tonight, I think. So it'll be in there for, I think, 3 days as early access rewards to my lovely patrons, several of which are in the chat in the chat at the moment. Thank you, guys. So yes, that will be available later on in a few hours once I've finished, and it's actually uploaded, but you know what YouTube are like. If you link to something straight away, it's rubbish quality. So I've got to give it a couple of hours for it to render itself and tidy itself up. So that will be available for you guys for a few days before it becomes available to the general public, unwashed masses, later on in the week. So get in quick, have a look at that. If you're not one of my patrons, then you can become one. Have a look at patreon.com/grossmodels. The link's in the chat. Well, it's not in the chat, but it's in the video description, and in the video description for pretty much all my videos. have a look, you might like it. I know I'm just using some paint out of the pot for that, because that I think should be orange, and I hadn't painted it orange, so the fork bits are going to be metallic. But yeah, have a look. Patreon.com/grossmodels for a small monthly, I don't know what we call it, it's not exactly a donation, but it's not exactly a fee either, payment, shall we say. You can get access to a lot of my ramblings through the exclusive Patreon channel. You get occasional early access links, and indeed there's a private video for my patrons, not that sort of video before anyone gets excited. It's about the 3D printed Lady Stormtrooper that I did. That's a video that's only viewable by my $5 a month tier patrons. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. You can join and leave at any time. It's not a lifelong commitment. Hopefully it is a lifelong commitment for you, but so you can obviously join and leave whenever you like. Welcome to pop in, read all the information, watch all the videos, and then disappear again. But obviously I hope you stick around for a little bit. I'm just going to touch up the orange on those again, where that's been down there. I'll have a little look through the chat momentarily to see. I see it's been moving, so at least I know people are still here. That's the worrying thing when I'm, standing here talking to myself and just talking to myself. But I see it's still moving, so that's always nice. At least one person's in there, even if they're talking to themselves. But that's pretty much. I'm going to go over this bit as well. Touched up on here. It just brings out the panels a little bit further. You can't see because my hand's in the way. I just realised where the camera is and where I am and everything else. There we go. Yeah, so whatever I was saying before that, that's all great and said, so I'm not going to say it again because I can't remember what it was. As ever on here, so you're welcome to put any questions or anything in the chat. There is a super chat option, which makes bells and whistles things go. Apparently, nobody's done it yet. It's been available for a few months, and nobody's actually activated it yet. So I think it makes beepy noises and stuff, and makes your thing appear in bold. But again, it costs you real money, so I'm not surprised nobody's used it. And that's that. There's a link for something, Kickstarter, which I shall allow and share. I don't know what it was, but Pascal was nice. He wouldn't put in anything nasty. Right, let me have a little nose through and see what's been happening in the chat. Talking about 3D printing. Oh, right, okay. Pretty cool model making this week, says Edster. Yeah. Right, Pascal is currently painting Vice from, is it said RWBY, or is there a word to say it? I'm aware of it. It's the red versus blue people, isn't it? No idea what figure it is. It's for a tabletop game for a friend. Alright. More girly figures than hamsters. Yeah. John's just found us. Hi, John. US made CG animated anime. It's a SPID, yep. Right. Charles, Space Marine interactive ice cream van. Is that an ice cream van? No, it's not. Ice cream vans are not orange, are they? They're on your way? No. Jamie Bone says, what did I miss in Fox's stream? We don't talk about Fox's stream here, it's just mine. Lots of wee breaks, Jamie, disguised as hairdryer breaks this bit. Yeah, I think that was yeah, he kept saying his hairdryer was on, but then we never heard it. Not sure, maybe injected, no idea. Right, that's why that was the link to the game thing, I think. And Trent Charles says, if it's the Lady Stormtrooper, then it is that type of video from afar. Yeah, pronounced Ruby. Alright, RWBY. Ruby. Okay. Why don't they spell it with a U then instead of two U's? That's just wrong. Just confusing. doing it to annoy people and confuse people. It's just, yeah. I haven't watched any of it. I'm aware of it. I've seen bits from it and things like that, and I've been a long time follower of the Rooster Teeth. When they started doing the red versus blue from Halo video things. So yeah, I'm aware of it, but not actually got around to watching any of it. I don't know that it really appealed to me. I'm not really a big anime fan. So yeah, at some point maybe, but not today. Right, so that's I say probably looks exactly the same to you there, but yeah, it is different. Honest, not much different, but a little bit different, and yeah. So I'm going to do some detail work on Matey Boy sitting up there. So I need some gold, which is the one with the white lid, because I don't know, gold and silver have got white lids, and white's got a white, well, not really a white lid, it's a clear lid, but it's gone white because of the paint, which is how it should be. So I'm going to shake this. Right, there we go. Speed explains why it's Ruby, because Ruby Rose is the main character. But Team Ruby is Ruby, Weiss, Blake and Yang. Okay. And Pascal needs to paint them all. You've got to paint them all. Oh no, that's Pokemon, that's different. Yeah. I don't know how that works into that. He's done Penny already. I'd say I don't know who any of them are. I'm sure they're lovely though. Right, as ever, I'm putting in some paint. And then a little bit of water next to the paint. There we go. Get the lid on the paint and moving it somewhat out of the way. Right, that's that. So I'm going to be using my detail brush and finding my eyes of seeing and rearranging things a little bit so I can actually get to where I want to get and still be able to get the paint. So move things around there. That's that there. That'll do. I've got my tissue there if I need it, and that's that. Right. So I'm going to be doing some gold highlighting to his shoulders and stuff. Now, I'm not sure about gold over orange. It's not really going to be overly visible, especially not the first coat, obviously, because you know, got to have multiple thin coats. Just check to see that it's still on camera or thereabouts. So yeah, that's going to be gold shoulder pauldron stuff going on. And get that around the back there where I can't really see, but I know it's there. There we go. That's that. Right. Has he got any more gold on him, or have I just got loads of paint out for no apparent reason? I think I'll do the skull on the top of his head in gold, because I don't really like the silver. I'm aware that by picking it up I've changed the focus, so you probably can't quite see what I'm doing. But there you go. I've done the gold on his front. Shall I try and get his buttons? See if I can get his buttons in gold. Let's have a look. That's a bit too much paint there. Yeah, I think I can get his buttons. Gives him a bit of an official look, doesn't it? So there we go, a little bit of colour on him. Spid's looking at the game on sale, no mention of figures. Alright, it might be looking at the wrong thing, I don't know. Candygram from Mongo's in. Greetings all. The orange Taurox is looking mighty fine. Thank you very much. You missed me going on about how great Patron is, but you already know because you're one of my patrons as well. Yay, it's like a patron party in here. I, last week off camera, did touch up the yellow tips to the rockets a little bit, so they're slightly better than they were. And that's, yeah, I wouldn't say that's that, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. I do still need to do the tracks and all of the underside, which is still sitting in there in the white primer. But that's going to be sort of metallic and grotty and, yeah, weathering as well. I do need to brush up on my weathering, my Warhammer weathering rather, because it's different to normal weathering, apparently. Because normal weathering I'd be using, you know, muds and stuff, but I don't know, maybe they do mud textures, so maybe a little bit of that as well. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I need to, actually, while I've got the gold out, I've got some gold I can add to the Taurox itself. Things like the emblem and some bits on the door and things like that, I think. So, yeah, while I'm here, why not do that? I can't remember. Every time I do one of these, I can't remember the name for it. But yeah, one of the flying skull things. Not insignia, not emblem, but it sort of is, but it isn't. I'm going to do them, or that. Because I think I had a different one on the other side, didn't I? I went with the wings on one side and was it like the rampant lion or something on the other, I think. There we go. That's the first coat of that anyway. Right, let's see. There's skulls on the door. Don't know about this whole. Yeah, I'll do the whole thing, I think. The whole surround to the windows and stuff. Not the wheel. I'll be doing in a different colour. But definitely some of this. It's Warhammer. You've got to have lots of gold apparently. You can never have enough bling. Oh, I've just got that on the wheel, but I don't need to do that in a different colour anyway, so I'm not overly concerned with that. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, then welcome, and this is, say, me painting some Warhammer stuff. Oh, we've got another link to the thing. I'll just allow that. So Spidkiller, you've got mod chip. You can do the whole allowing links. I don't have a problem with that sort of link. Of course, I don't get any kickback from Rooster Teeth, but you know, can't have everything in here. I'll get this side done, and then I shall have another look through and see what you've been doing in the chat. If you've just been talking about this board game. I did do the shade around these bits, so the background around the door things are already darkened and shady, so that's okay. Not shady in a bad way like that, but shady. Yes, it was the rampant thingy that I did on that, so I might as well do that in gold as well. Why not? It's Warhammer, isn't it? It's got to have gold everywhere apparently. And the gold is quite complementary to the orange, so I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be a bit more subtle, but it does actually kick out quite nicely. There we go. carefully. Trying to use the edge of the brush to get just the tops of the detail. That's alright, that's worked quite well. Right, let's have a look. Pascal, so it's the links to the official store. Let me have another drink, because it's been, it's been half an hour and I haven't stopped talking yet. Right. Oh, Candygram from Mongo says, please, more patrons. Painting models aren't cheap, and Chris puts a lot of time into his videos. Oh, thank you very much, but I haven't bought a model kit for a while. I've got a fair stash of kits, so I haven't actually had to buy any more plastic for a little while. There's lots that I could, but I just haven't decided to, you know, work my way through what I have first. But as you say, paints and supplies and stuff, and trying to get the technical side of things working with computers and stuff. You may have noticed I've been playing around with a green screen. That was interesting, shall we say. I don't know that I'll be using it very much, if really at all, but it's of interest. I know I was going to read the chat a bit more and then just started painting, because I saw these other bits that look the same as the bits on the door. The little sharp, stabby things. And thought they'd be quite good gold as well. Let's have a look. Grunge it up, says Trenton Chard. Yeah, got to bling up the war buggy. Aquila, that's the word, thank you. That's the word that I can never remember, and will no doubt forget almost immediately. Now these bits here do seem to join up with these bits here, but I don't know that I want all of them gold. But maybe the outside of it, I don't know. It's tricky. The outside of them. Let's do the middle one and see. So I can come around the outside here. That's the bit that it sort of joins up to. So yeah, that's doable. That's quite nice. Not too in your face, but not bad either. And it finishes quite nicely in that corner. So yeah, I think I'll do the gold around there. Maybe at the bottom as well. I'll worry about that another time. That's, yeah, definitely adding something to it, a little bit of a bling. Zazda says, we're concentrating on your modelling, I think. I'm not, what, me? What? Everyone's concentrating on my modelling? Candygram says, become a patron, only $1 or $2, and subsidise the upcoming Terminator model parts. You'll be glad you did. Yeah, I say the patron thing, the first tier, if you like, is $1 whole American dollar per month. Which obviously isn't a great deal of money. Which is obviously not a great deal of money to me. And not a great deal of money, hopefully, to lots of you. But if, you know, if 100 of you decided to support me at $1 a month, then that's all of a sudden $100 a month, if my math works out. But obviously, no, my videos will be mostly available for free as well. There will be the occasional Patreon exclusive. And of course, these Warhamster streams do get locked behind the Patreon exclusive wall after they're live, which is why you won't find any of them sitting on my channel. But if you're a patron, you can come back and watch them again another time. I don't know that anybody ever comes back and watches them again anyway, because these live streams aren't really the sort of thing that you put on time and time again, are they? I am well aware that the fun of the live stream is being in the chat and interacting. Yeah, I like that. That's subtle but still present. Spid says, okay, my internet flaked momentarily. Got the links. Still can't find anything of the figures. Assuming there may be a Kickstarter exclusive. Possibly. So, Kickstarter, I haven't done any Kickstarters, but I'm aware that they do often have sort of, you know, timed. Join us now and do this. Get this bonus. Only available. Sort of things, don't they? Right, the bottoms of these have got more bigger expanses of gold on them if I'm doing the same as I'm doing to the top, which I sort of want to. So I'll do one side and we'll see how it goes. Get that round in there as well. Yay. Yeah, as I say, the Terminator is the next ongoing part work that I'm doing. So take a look at them. So the next issue, I bought one in the shop and then subscribed to it from 2. So they sent out 2 and 3, and my free screwdrivers, which are very strange. You'll see I talk about them a little bit in one of the videos. The quality of them is pretty rubbish, but I expected pretty rubbish. So it's actually slightly better than I was expecting it to be. But the issue 3, which was the first one that I was going to use them on, they don't work. The screw that I needed to do up is slightly smaller than the smallest screwdriver that they give you, which struck me as amusing and annoying in sort of equal measure. It's like, we'll give you this nice screwdriver set that's got 3 different size screwdrivers in it and a really nasty pair of tweezers. So we won't mention the tweezers. But the smaller screwdriver is still too big for the screw that we need you to do up. So find yourself another screwdriver. I don't know that they're going to be using the big ones, because it's pretty big, the big screwdriver they supply you with. So they might have been better off not bothering giving you the huge one, but giving you a smaller one that is actually the right size for, you know, the screws. Very annoying. But I don't run these part work things, so, you know, who am I to comment on things? At least when they gave you the screws, they did actually give you basically screws that you need to use immediately, which was a pleasant surprise, because the D'Agostini way of doing it is to give you a big pile of screws one issue and say, oh yeah, you don't need these yet, you were using them in a month and a half. So just keep track of them, you know. And half of them they just describe as fixing screw. No other description other than that. And they might mention the size when you come to use it, but they're not in labelled packets or bags or anything. And some of them we didn't actually use at all, or I didn't use at all, and my R2's all together and working. So I don't think I missed any bits. very strange. So the Hachette Terminator, so far so good. They are actually, so they supplied us with some screws in a couple of issues, and we used them, and it was always good. I've not done a Hachette part work before. Apparently there's something to do with eagle moss, but I don't know for sure or anything about it really. Trout Charles says, I watched episode 3 of the Terminator, Chris. Was the finger metal or plastic? I know you said the piston was. The finger is here. Is metal. I think the... no, I think it was all metal. The fingertip I had to glue in place. But it's all articulated and metal. And quite substantial. So, yeah, that's quite nice. The only plastic bits of worry so far are the big hinge piece here. Which I don't know as yet exactly where it goes or what it's for, if it's got any you know, bearing weight through it or anything like that. We'll worry about that down the line. But there's quite a lot of metal parts in it. It's very nice. Charles says, I can't believe it was too short. Oh yeah, the screwdriver. No, that was my other screwdriver. The actual screwdriver that I didn't try down the part. The screwdriver they supplied. I've got, I'd say, several tools knocking around, and my go-to screwdriver was just a little thing, but it wasn't long enough to reach down through the piston to actually touch the screw, which was always interesting on not live TV, but recording live. I don't bother going back and correcting mistakes and things, as I like the mistakes. They keep me real. If something goes wrong in a build, you'll find out about it. You'll know about it. I don't see the point in trying to cover it up. Obviously, I don't video everything that I'm doing on a build or a kit, except for these ones, because, you know, this is what I'm doing now. But for a normal video build that I make, if something goes wrong, you'll find out about it. I don't try and cover it up. I might not show you me doing the same thing to it 4 times, or, you know, that sort of thing, but if something interesting happens in a build, or something disastrous happens in a build, you'll know about it. Because if I don't show you what goes wrong, then if you're doing the same kit or a similar thing, and all my videos are about, I would say teaching. It's not exactly teaching, because I'm sure a lot of you are better at it than I am. Demonstrating and showing, guiding. So if any of you had the same problem, then I'd feel bad knowing that I had the problem and didn't actually show you how to work around the problem. Assuming I figured out how to work around the problem. This is the other important thing. It's going to weigh a fair bit when it's finished, says Zedster. Yeah, it is. I mean, R2 weighs quite a bit when he was finished. The one thing that I don't particularly like about the Terminator build is it doesn't look like it's going to be freestanding. It comes with a base, which is lovely, but it has sort of a framework that it sort of supports. I'm demonstrating, but you can't see me. Under the arm sort of thing. It's got a framework that comes up and he sort of hangs on it, as far as I can tell from the pictures, which isn't ideal, but it's obviously going to be quite heavy, and I don't know that the joints are going to be strong enough to support the weight of the legs. You know, the big 3PO that I've got that it'll be standing next to is obviously hollow plastic, doesn't weigh anything at all, so that's easy to do. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that yet. Trout Child says, the thing with the teeth, do you Dremel or file the skull for those? I drilled with a Dremel, actually. I was going to file it, but I didn't have a file the right size, so I used the edge of a drill, as you'll see in the video soon. Just wait and see. Wait for it. It'll be there. But yeah, the skull itself, that's the original skull that comes, and it's just a flat mouthpiece, which isn't realistic, or with it. But I made some indentations, basically, like there is in a real mouth. Just make a little bit of character, a little bit looking nice, and that's basically what it does in the picture, in the videos, as far as I can tell. I've seen still pictures. I haven't watched the video for a long time. I have to get the film, the original Terminator, and see. Spud says they're about showing you what to do and sometimes what not to do. I assume that's my videos. Yes, just yeah, suggestions on things to do and how to correct things when things go wrong. Let me grab another drink and keep going for a bit. Yep. Right, my voice is still there, so hopefully everything is still working. I'm just annoyed that the stream doesn't start the way it should now. I don't know. I shall have a play throughout the week and try and figure out what it's doing, why it's doing it, and what I can do about to stop it doing it. Right, I'm just having a look to see. Obviously it's not finished by any stretch, but it's getting towards the end, getting towards being finished. The end is not exactly in sight, but it's in that general direction. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the gold on there. It probably need another coat, at least in a couple of places. The Aquila, see, I remembered so far. I got it right so far. The Aquila does need a little bit more, especially at the tips of the wings for some reason, and the paint didn't settle down there quite as well as it should, but being thinned paint, that will be why. So Troutenside says, I want someone to bring out a similar sized xenomorph. They can just take my money. Yeah, xenomorphs are an interesting thing. I signed up to the Xbox Game Pass service thing, and they just released the Alien Isolation game onto it, which I never actually got around to playing, but always struck me as being something that looked like it could be absolutely terrifying and fun. So yeah, I might have downloaded that and not started it yet, because you've got to be in the right mindset and you need the right atmosphere. So basically I need it to be dark, and ideally I'd like to be alone in the house, because that will make it really frightening, and I'll be hearing noises and stuff, and nobody will hear me yelp. I think I'll be spending a lot of time, apparently a lot of people spend time locked in lockers, hiding from xenomorphs. So I might be introducing myself to a locker at some point in that game. But I don't think I'd want a real one. Not even a model of a real one, you know what I mean. But yeah. Let's see, I think I'll make his screen not exactly gold, but I'm going to put a gold framework around the outside of it. And I will colour it in gold, because it makes it a better base than the white. So I'll be putting some sort of something on there. I figure it's a screen. It's like attached to the gun, some sort of control panel thing. So that's that. Right, apart from the gold obviously being still damp, moist, the orange itself should be dry by now, so I think I'll put my wet palette away for now. and break out the Fire Dragon Bright, which is the lighter orange. Troutonside says he had that on PC. Great game. I saw it. I was aware of it when it came out, but never actually bothered with it. Never got around to it. So yeah, I'll be having some fun with that on the Xbox, I think. So yeah, you can see that this is just a lighter shade of orange. So I'm gonna, again, dry brush, so get rid of most of it, and see about just lightening up, not exactly the centre of panels, but yeah, so that panel now is just that little bit brighter than the rest of them. Hopefully it will make the orange just pop a little bit more, because the orange isn't bright enough apparently. I like it to be a bit brighter than it is at the moment. So yeah, might not have been my best decision, but yeah, just a little bit of texture, a little bit of interest to a same colour vehicle. Obviously normally you would be playing around with camo patterns and things like that, but obviously I've not got any of that to worry about, so I'm trying to make some interest with shades of orange, should we say. Just on the bigger panels, not worrying about getting into all the little ones. Maybe a little bit down the sides of the door maybe. But not in the dark shadows. I think I'll leave those dark and shadowy. So, a bit on the front here. But not everywhere. A little bit around the edges on the bigger panels, but yeah, I don't know if it's even coming out on the screen really what I'm doing here, but hopefully you get an idea, or you can see vaguely a little bit of what I'm doing. Right, apparently there's 31 people watching now, so welcome everybody. If you're not in the chat, so find the actual YouTube app if you're on mobile, or if you're on a big computer sitting. Make sure you're actually on the YouTube page and join in the live chat. So come and say hello. We'd all like to meet you. There's a few people in the chat already, obviously, but more the merrier. Come and say hello. Come and join in. Tell us what you've been doing. If you're, only just joined the channel, or if you've been following me for a long time. We're all friendly, mostly. Bradley Season, looking good, Chris says hi. John Paul says hi all. See, I read the chat as well. I don't just ignore you when you come in and say hello. I might ignore you when you come in and say, because I might not notice, but, someone will say hello to you back, I'm sure. So, welcome, and, yeah, how is everybody today? It's been pretty miserable weather. It's been very bright out today, but it has been raining off and on, and we did get some thunder and lightning before I went live, so it seems to have stopped now. I've not seen any flashes out the window or anything like that, so hopefully that's all gone away for now. Right, Stratus Strong? Stratus, I expect. So he says, "G'day everyone." Is that Australian? Or are you just saying g'day? G'day? Hello and welcome. So it's already nicer when people come into the chat. Now, apart from anything else, it gives me someone to talk to. Because if nobody was in the chat, I'd really just be sitting here talking to myself. But I'm much more likely, if I'm sitting in a room on my own, to just sit there quietly than to talk to myself. Right, Bradley C says, have you ever altered the plastic of the model to create war damage, etc.? Not on this one, but on other kits I have. What did I do? The biggest, most recent thing that I did, not exactly war battle damage on, I built 2 harbour tugs, the Revel harbour tug kits in 144 scale, which if you're new to my channel, most of my stuff that I build is 1 to 144 scale, very small things, mainly because I haven't got room to keep a lot of big kits. So I started doing little things, hence the name Gross Models, because gross is 144. Yeah, I built 2 tugs, and I built one as nice and shiny new, and the other one as sort of an old, sort of worn out, knackered, as if they're replacing it. I do have a diorama planned, but not built yet. I haven't really started on it, it's still in the planning stages. For that, with the 2 tugs sort of next to each other. But yeah, that one of those I did damage. Went at it with a drill and Dremel and files and basically covered it in muck. But yeah, the Warhammer ones, no, I'm just building out the box basically. Strata says I'm Australian, live about 2 hours south of Sydney. Oh, welcome, international, yay. I know a few of you are international as well, but Australia's a long way away. If you hadn't noticed, I'm in the UK, in London, near Heathrow. So, yeah, welcome. Right, yeah, I'm just, adding the lighter orange. If you haven't been watching or paying attention, or anyone's come in late, as long as you've got a note, it's fine. I've already done some dry brushing on it to correct the panel washing, the shading that I did last week. So this week I'm just sort of bringing it back so you can still see the detail where the rivets and things go in. But now I'm just brightening it up a little bit more. I just see there's another skull on there that I need to do in gold. Trouble is, I'm not sure how much of this is actually coming out on. Looks like the hatch shouldn't be moving, shouldn't be closing, but there we go. Handy that it does. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know what I was saying. I said it and then got distracted by things moving. Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome. Excuse me. Bradley C lives near Croydon. That's yeah, I don't do geography very well. I know Australia's a long way away. I know Croydon's around here somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. I'm rubbish at geography. I need a sat-nav to get to work. I don't really need a sat-nav to get to work, but it's almost that bad. I wouldn't go anywhere without a map, or I'd look it up on a map in the olden days, but now just put it in the sat-nav and you're done. South London, says Bradley C. Yeah, knew it was around here somewhere. It's one of those places that I've heard of, but don't think I've ever been. Right, what time is it anyway? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. So I've been here for an hour, or a little bit more than an hour, trying to get the thing to work. I don't understand why it doesn't work. It's really annoying. The live link, the youtube.com/grossmodel/live. Should work, and does work, but it seems to not work for long, if you know what I mean. It will work and everyone's in the chat, but then when it actually goes live, although it's the same website and same address, it sort of isn't. It sort of opens up a new feed that's sort of the same but sort of different. And I don't understand it. If anyone knows anything about how YouTube works, and you'd like to explain it to me in simple words, please let me know, because I'd like to know. Right, drinky time. Yep. Right, I do need to do something about him. I'm not sure, but I don't like the way he blends in so well. I do still want him to be orange, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to darken him down a bit, make him a bit used and worn. Let's try a shade. The Raglan Flesh shade is a nice sort of reddy browny shade. It says people used to navigate via stars, the original sat-nav. Yeah. Yeah, just point yourself at a star and keep going. Works. Right, I'm just going to slap this shade on basically everywhere. And hopefully it will darken it down enough that he's visibly different from the tank thing itself, without being, I don't want to say noticeably different, but that's sort of, yeah, it's got to be different but not that different. Do need him to stand out a little bit without not still being orange. Don't know, it's difficult to describe what I'm aiming for. But hopefully a couple of coats of that we'll just darken him down a little bit. John Paul says, last time I went live I lost my audio after 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure someone would have told me if I lost my audio 45 minutes ago, but no. Bradley Slee says, do you go to any interesting exhibitions or anything in central London? Not really. I, a few years ago, went to the, what was it, the computer game thing, not E3, because that's the big one that isn't in London. That version that was in, I think it might have been Olympia. Might have been around there. Yeah, but that's, I haven't been for a while. Zadsta says, years ago, Outspan Oranges had a huge orange-shaped car that drove around advertising them. Was it orange-shaped or orange-coloured? And is orange the colour named after the fruit, or is the fruit named after the colour? Deep questions. You never get deep questions. So, yeah. What came first, the orange or the orange? It's both orange-shaped and coloured. Well, it would sort of have to be, really. I suppose if it's orange-shaped without being orange-coloured, then it could be an apple. Although the texture is different, so probably not. I'm getting tired. This is, yeah. Is the Dutch royal family named after the fruit? What? I don't know what the name of the Dutch royal family is. Is it orange? I don't know. I don't know. Which fruit are they named after, and are they? Did they used to be fruit farmers way back when? Names are a strange thing, aren't they? I understand all the traditional names of, you know, baker and butcher, and yeah, because that's what you are. And the other ones of, you know, son and whatever, you know, Cooperson, and yeah, because you used to be the Cooper. As the House of Orange says, that's the, alright. But there are some names that don't make sense and don't, you know, don't follow on from how they're created. I don't understand how they come about. Someone just decides to call themselves that, maybe. I don't know. These things that just pop into your head, but there you go. Right. Now, until things are dry, there's not a great deal more I can do with that. I do need to think about the underside and the tracks. I'm thinking the tracks might be the traditional sort of lead belcher, which I have here, in fact, and then really dirtied up, because silver and steel are a bit too metallic. So probably lead belchering them. It's the same as the guns, so it is that sort of colour, but with plenty of non-oil and things, you can, you know, really get it in there. But until it's dry, I can't really handle it and tip it over and do things with it. Pascal says they are apples of orange, according to the Dutch, the colour. Okay. So the fruit is named after the... No, the colour is named after the fruit, I think. I don't know. Right. That is probably going to be about it for today. It's been an hour, but normally around a little bit longer than that. Let me do a little bit more. I'm going to put some yellow on the headlights. Actually, some white on the headlights, and then some yellow on them at a later date. Now, imagine if modern professions became names, like programmer. Yeah, that's true, because, I mean, people used to be named after their professions. So, yeah, that would be strange. Yeah. Like red, as in red square, doesn't mean red, says Esther. Does it not? Is it red because it's red? Oh, excuse me, I just dropped my paintbrush. So. Is it red, as in red in another language, is not the colour red, it's something else, but just sounds like red. That's the other thing that confuses me, when languages use the same words but mean different things. I mean, even American and English apparently are the same, but they're not. Because chips aren't chips in America, and crisps and trip chips and fries, and it's all very confusing. So, I'm going to... What am I going to do? I'm just going for the central piece of these, I think. The outside inside bit, or the inside outside bit, I think needs to be metallic. But the very interior piece, I'm going to do in white, and then I shall add some yellow to it. Another time. But I like to put these little details in as I go. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something, because looking at the main body of it now doesn't really look wildly different to what it looked like when I got here. I know it is, and you know it is, because you've seen it change, but it's not quite the same as, you know, being able to come back to it next week and say, oh yeah, he's got these little white bits on there, that's different. So if anybody had missed this week and comes back next week, would it be noticeably different, do you think? I don't know. I'm going to do the lights at the back as well, because, you know, why not? Although they're not going to be yellow. I'll be doing them red. But I think red over white will pop a little bit better than over the orange. I was saying red is a mistranslation of beautiful. Ah, right. So it's... You say mistranslation. So its actual name isn't red. That's just what we've called it. But we should be calling it beautiful. Cool. I just saw something about, to make it even harder, it's something different, but it's hard enough as it is. Why is stuff so difficult? Why can't we all talk the same language? Or why haven't we got any, you know, working proper translators yet? To make it even harder, sinaas, from sinaas apple, fruit, translate from Dutch to orange. So basically we call an orange fruit an orange apple. Okay, because you wouldn't want to call it a fruit, because that would be even more confusing. I like languages, but I can't talk any of them. I can only just use English, so it's a bit of a stretch to try and learn any other languages. I did learn you know, French and German at school to a very, very basic level, but basically gave them up as soon as I could because I didn't enjoy them. And it's one of those things that you think, really, I should have stuck with it and would have been quite, well, not exactly useful, but nice to have another language. So, I think that is about going to call it a night. So it's been, well, an hour and a quarter nearly. I feel like I've got stuff done. Not as much stuff as I could do, but more than Fox normally does on his streams, and he's on it for much longer. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for coming along in chat. As ever, I'll give a quick rundown of what's going to happen throughout the week. Sunday today, so tomorrow is Monday. See, I'm good at this. That's eModels time over on the eModels channel. I think it's eModels UK on YouTube, but you'll know where it is anyway. And then there's nothing throughout the week until Thursday, when it's the evening with the gang again. Back here on my channel, when me and hopefully 2 or 3 members of the gang, the group of modelers that I've gathered around myself to hide in amongst. Maybe doing a bit of modelling, maybe just sitting there talking, doing a bit of everything. So, and then obviously Sunday, we're back here. Irrespective of what it actually says on the thing when I set it up, it'll be 8 o'clock. It said 9 o'clock for some reason today, but I don't know why. But that's YouTube playing around again. It's not going to be the same link, but it is going to be the same link. So always check out YouTube Live and refresh it, because it might take you to the same page, but a different instance of the page. Sprout says it's already Monday here in Australia, so hello from the future. It'd be useful if you could send me the lottery numbers, because you already had them. If you can just send me the lottery numbers just as soon as they come out, and then I can get them the day before, that'd be lovely. But other than that, have a nice Monday. It's early morning Monday there, is it? It can't be. It might be daytime. I don't know. See, it's geography and time and stuff. I'm rubbish with that as well. But I say, as ever, thanks for watching. Stick around for next time. As ever, if you like the stream and want to see and try and support me, pop along to Patreon. Have a look and see. You might. It's 8 AM apparently, so yeah, morning. Pop along if you want to support me a little bit. I'm more than happy to accept your donations and pledges and whatever they call them. But if not, then it's not a problem. I'm still here. I'm still making stuff, and I'll see you the next time. Yeah, my voice is starting to go a little bit now, so best go. Otherwise, I'll be rubbish on eModels on tomorrow night. So I'm going to click the button and make the music play and the end thing, and then I'll turn it off in a little while. So thank you all. I'll keep going in chat for a couple of minutes. It's not a problem. As far as I know, the chat might stay for a week. I don't really know, but yeah, thank you all, and see you soon. Bye bye.